The following trailer is rated H for honest.
In a world where all problems are solved with hardcore robot-on-robot action, get ready for Capcom's best attempt to age up their iconic franchise with its fan base, as everyone's favorite pure-hearted Robo-Boy becomes an angsty Robo-Teen, Mega Man X. Wall jump into one of the longest series of spin-off games ever created, as Capcom takes the formula of the traditional Mega Man games and adds more edge than a razor blade, with updated graphics and designs, new mechanics that aren't just bouncing on your dog, and an actual plot that wasn't just stop the angry old guy, but kept the core concept of the franchise, all problems being solved by fighting an even number of robots at the end of thematically appropriate levels. You want me to destroy the human race without at least 8 robots guarding arbitrary locations? Forget about it! Discover a world where humans and, Reploids coexist in a technological utopia until a virus turns all of the robots into human-hating kill machines. And a stronger, faster, hipper Mega Man known as X is called in to hunt down these maverick Reploids with his extremely killable partner Zero, to thwart the seemingly endless cataclysmic plots that threaten to end humanity. Then uncover the masterminds behind it all. Sigma. And Sigma. And Sigma again. Sigma? Oh, that's Sigma 2. Wait, no, let me guess. Sigma again. In a narrative that, despite the character development, conspiracy subplots, and robot existentialism, boils down to being the same exact story for literally every game. Because even with an expanded scope, playing Mega Man for the plot is like watching porn for the set design. Experience the rich history of the X games. From the groundbreaking original that revolutionized the robot vampire genre by adding wall jumping. The second that's mostly notable for the name Overdrive Ostrich. The third game that added cutscenes and a playable Zero but only let you have one life. The fourth game with branching storylines, 2 different playstyles, and excellent gameplay, but such corny writing and acting that it was completely overshadowed by one scene.
No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What am I fighting for?
The fifth game that closed out the X franchise with the most brutal ending imaginable in a game about fighting robots. The sixth game that totally ignored everything that happened in the fifth game because Capcom likes money. The seventh game that tossed everything in the trash for a new protagonist and 3D gameplay. An RPG that no one asked for or remembers. The handheld versions that were basically clones of the previous games. The 8th game that fixes most of the problems of the 7th, but couldn't survive the wounds Capcom had already dealt to the series. And the collections that were probably the only reason you ever played 7 or 8 to begin with. In a sub-franchise that started off as innovative and exciting, but ended up feeling more like a grudging obligation. It's like the family reunion of video games. Dash through the explosive gameplay of the X series with a handful of new moves that mix up the classic Mega Man formula. From wall climbing and dashing, to power-ups and unique armor sets, powerful sword and team-up techniques, and just becoming the bad guys themselves, as Capcom staples gimmick after gimmick onto the X franchise in a desperate attempt to keep the gameplay fresh, while they beat the last bit of cash out of the extremely dead horse that is the X plotline. It's a horse made of money, okay? Metaphors are hard. So bring out that big boy buster, and prepare for some existential angst. In the Mountain Dew to Mega Man's Coke. Because whatever you think about them dipping Mega Man deep into the anime well, you gotta admit, it's hard to deny a Mega Man series where you never have to deal with this. Oh shit! I'd give my left nut for a wall jump right about now. Starring the Blue Bummer, Zero Time for Your Shit, Poser Man, Totally Didn't Have to Die, Not Subtle Man, Paramedic, Generally There, Boba Fett, Dr. Kinder Surprise, Angry Birds, Washed Up, It's Time for Pyromaniacs, Salad Mix, Guns N' Roses, Generic Flavors of Antagonists, and Robot Voldemort. Very Angry Animal Crossing. Make sure not to confuse this with the sister series Mega Man's X, which is about moving on from a difficult breakup with a man who's absorbed all of your powers. Octopath Traveler.